In 2022, I made a self-funded pilot that didn't get picked up. However, I did learn 3 very valuable lessons when it comes to filmmaking.
What the hell? Chill.
I am going to need you to keep on going, okay?
What?
No, hey.
No.
Oh man, you're totally crying right now.
What are you gonna be? What do you
Oh,
expect?
come on.
Just take the car, man. Please don't kill me.
What you just saw was a trailer for Roadie, and I'll make sure that the link to the full episode is below, but it's about a germaphobe that's returning home to Huntly, a very small town in New Zealand, and he finds a convict in his back seat. That convict is actually on the run from a hit woman who was trying to get the case that is attached to his arm. As you can see, it features me with blonde hair and a bunch of tattoos, and it also features my very talented friend, Josh Hunter, as the lead role. So the first key lesson I learned from Roadie was that, success takes shape in many different ways. For Roadie, obviously, I wanted it to be a full-fledged show, and unfortunately, we didn't get that funding. I'll get into that more later on, but the key thing that I kind of learned was that, I made something. Actually making something is the first step of, I guess, being a filmmaker, filmmaking. And to just go out there and self-fund and, write, direct, star in, and also co-produce with my friend, this pilot was a massive step for me. For me, a real big success was that I got to use Roadie to get music videos, and I got a bunch of commercial work because of showing that in my reel. The second point I really want to bring up is that, marketing is everything when it comes to filmmaking. And although we, try to keep creative and away from that kind of realm of the business side, it is really important. For Roadie, it had a really strong first push, but I just kind of lost traction with it. I didn't really put too much effort into the back end, and I think it's really important, especially nowadays, with how connected we are, social media, making content. It's important to keep on top of that and make sure people are seeing it. Even if you don't have the budget to kind of spend on ads or getting out there, there's different ways you can kind of get around it. For me, leading up to the release, I managed to collaborate with some companies that gave me giveaways. And, as long as you're promoting your brand in a, happy and safe way, most companies would be happy with that. I think, when making a project, it's important to look at, what am I going to do to promote this and how am I going to get it out there? Because I didn't really know that when I was making Roadie. And, it was a good lesson to learn. The third kind of point that I have, which is kind of a build off my first point around the success is, you really got to know the market. For me, making Roadie, it's a web series. And back in 2022, web series weren't really a thing anymore. In the early 2000s, web series were kind of a big thing that people really watched and consumed. And it just kind of fell off. Now, obviously you've got short film content and the kind of really great work that comes from that. But back then, in New Zealand especially, they weren't really looking towards web series content. That's definitely changed now as they see the short film content demand. But for me, knowing all that and understanding the kind of industry and what they're kind of wanting was important. And saying that, I don't think you should make something just because the industry demands it. You should create the demand and obviously create projects that you want to see. But in my case, where I was trying to sell something to then become a bigger project, I think it was a key thing to know before going into it. Would I have done any differently? To be honest, I probably would have just made the whole series. But in saying that, that was a couple of years ago. I've obviously learned a lot more since then, got a different approach to how I make stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone has a different experience, and I'd love to hear yours, of course. All in all, Roadie wasn't really a failure. I learned a lot from it. I had a good time, and I did the thing. So I just hope that you all can do the thing as well. Make stuff, enjoy it, and just learn from the process. That's the key. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and also if you have any lessons of your own that you want to share from your projects. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.